Snag 'em!
I don't think I need to go into detail on what Pokemon is. Biggest media property on the planet, fun little elemental monsters, too much water. But comparing Pokemon from its peak to what it was today would be like me comparing our smart TVs to the giant box flat screen that I had when I was a child. The box TV was better. But when you have something as big and popular as Pokemon and simple hardware that is so easily accessible that online modders can just tear it apart, then you have the recipe for fan games. Unofficial Pokemon games made by your fellow fans to ignite the property in innovative and arguably better ways than Nintendo and Game Freak have been doing. Now, this isn't a hit piece on Nintendo or Game Freak for the recent Pokemon titles, even though Nintendo has been on the ban hammer lately since a couple people I watch have had their Pokemon and Nintendo videos demonetized by Nintendo, so that's not...
Yesterday, Point Crow posted this video where he talked about how Nintendo is not only taking down a ton of his content, mainly Breath of the Wild, but also striking his channel for it.
Videos totaling 55 million views were taken down by Nintendo.
Nobody hates Nintendo fans more than Nintendo themselves.
And I know this is a very calculated decision because Nintendo made the very deliberate choice to hand down with all these takedowns 2 copyright strikes.
Striking a channel, which takes down the video and issues a strike to the channel, which is debilitating. And if you get 3 strikes, you lose your whole channel, just fucking vanishes.
So for them to make an example out of him and hand him down 2 strikes, which I'm pretty sure was because if they were to hand him 3 strikes, there would be too much of a stink, and 1 strike wouldn't be big enough punishment to threaten his entire career.
It's because it's basically like capital punishment here on the platform. But Nintendo uses this willy-nilly. They're very loosey-goosey with issuing strikes. This is their first strategy. They don't reach out or try to play nice. They immediately just start rolling around in the pig pen and spitting and shitting on anyone who's covered their content, it seems.
So that's not good. This is an appreciation series of the creativity and love for the Pokemon series. ROM hacks and fan games have been around since as long as I could remember. Some of the first ones I ever played were stuff like Snakewood and Bloody Platinum. Yeah, I was edgy and sad, but these were very basic ROM hacks, and the new stuff that comes out today, the stuff we'll be checking out in this series, some of the most unique stories, some of the most interesting new Pokemon designs, and interesting new regions and worlds to explore. Welcome to the Pokemon Finanza series.
Fantastic!
Now with our first title, I thought we should play one of the more popular fan games to get the series started, and for right now, that's Infinite Fusions. Ever wonder what the events of Fire Red and Leaf Green would be like if you could fuse any 2 Pokemon together? No? Well, here we go. We start our adventure filling out our trainer ID. Damn, still can't vote. A little animation plays showing the main plot drive for this game. DNA splicers. You can take any 2 Pokemon and combine them to create something unique. Ugh, bad example. We meet our single mom and a parent sibling and make our way towards the route. But an old man decides to stop us and says he's got something that we're gonna want. I bet it's candy. I bet it's candy. No, it's just a Pokemon. And we get to pick our first starter. And I know I'm in the minority here, but Bulbasaur is my favorite Gen 1 starter, and no one can change my mind. Look at that cute little face. And for the foreseeable future, if he's offered, that's the one I'm picking. We get our starter and our rival, name of Big Country. If you know, you know. And he decides to take the last 2 starters and fuse them together. Wait, so we get to see a Charmander Squirtle fusion? Oh yeah, I'm gonna like this game. We beat our rival and we head for Viridian City. We head to the Pokemart to receive Oak's package, return to him, give it to him, and then he decides to give us our Pokedex and our first Pokeballs. Our fusing adventure begins. We capture our first fused Pokemon, a Pidgeotto. Ugh, fuck, it's weird. We also find a Nidoran female that we add for fuse ammo, and then we end up battling our rival again. This time he's also got a Nidoji, a fusion of Nidorino male and a Pidgey. Man, God, that looks so cool. Oh. I have an idea. And then a bing bang boom meet Bulbaran, and then a bing bang boom meet Bulbaran. After upstaging the Country Music Awards, I heard tale of a secret garden back on Route 1, where I found an Eevee Pidgey fusion, which I obviously caught. Next stop was Viridian Forest, where I found a Weepod. Sounds like a good time. So I caught it, and then it evolved into a Cactpod. So much worse. And then I learned one of the many cool changes that Infinite Fusions has made, besides adding 176,000 Pokemon. After battling someone, talking to them afterwards will lead you to either have a rematch, they'll end up giving you some kind of unique item, or if you're lucky, you might get a trade. And I found this bug trainer, and he had a Caterbat, a Zubat Caterpie fusion that he wanted to trade. He just wanted any bug Pokemon. So, see ya, Cactpod! Shortly after I got it, it evolved, and man. Can I get Cacpod back? Entering Pewter City, the Boulder City, we see another new interesting feature added. Hotels. Hotels offer a way for you to change the day and night system and is usually a local hub for side quests. Completing side quests will give you unique rewards. I showed this one woman a fully evolved bug Pokemon, and as a reward, she just gave me a Pineco. That's sick, but I never used it. Sad. I wanted to fuse my Nidoran female with something, and in Viridian Forest, I found my candidate. Metabat also evolved into Butterbat, and a definite improvement from the former. One more fun thing about fusing Pokemon. Both evolutionary lines will evolve separately. So the Caterpie line is now fully evolved. But we still have the Golbat and the Crobat evolutions to see what this thing is going to fully turn into. And oh boy, we will get there. We head into Pewter City to face Brock. The gym challenge is also handled a little differently. You can only bring the same amount of Pokemon that the gym leader uses, giving you more of a challenge. And honestly, why hasn't Game Freak done something along those lines? Limit your Pokemon depending on how many Pokemon the gym leader has. Or maybe give the gym leader a full team? Like the Scarlet and Violet post-game? Question mark? We begin our battle with Brock, and his two Pokemon are GOG and Dignix. Honest to God, he looks really cute. He's just so happy. But honest to God, they are no match for Bulbaran. Defeating Brock, you'll get your first badge and a Wonder Trade ticket. Yeah, Wonder Trading. The Wonder Trade offices are located just above the Pokemon Center. If you don't know what Wonder Trading is, it was a system implemented back in Pokemon X and Y where you could trade a Pokemon randomly with anyone in the world. So you could trade your Bidoof for a Charizard, and that same Charizard for a Feebas, and that Feebas for like a Cacturn. It can go on and on and on. Wonder Trading in Infinite Fusions is trading one of your Pokemon for a procedurally generated Pokemon with a random name from a random person. So I traded my Paris and I got a Pidgeotto Primate fusion named the Female Sign. Over and over and over and over. Besides the name, this thing is sick! I also took this time to fuse my Nidoran and Pichu and get a genuinely the cutest sprite I have ever seen. Meet Pyran, and I love her! I also decided to catch a Meowth for future fusings because Persian is the GOAT. Look at him over there. And I also traded for a Weakens. Weak ass. It also evolved rather quickly into Cackens, and then into Beacons. Cackens and Beacons. Bulbaran also evolved eventually into Bulbarino, and then eventually, shortly after, into Ivyreino. And Pyran into Pikaran. So the team is starting to full out a little bit. These sprites are very well done. And later in this video, you're going to see some really crazy possibilities. At the entrance of Mount Moon, Nurse Joy is looking after a hurt Geodude and will say that she needs special treatment where Giga Chad Brock comes to the Nurse Joy situation. But before we do anything else, we have to buy a Magikarp. Priorities. Now we can head into Mount Moon to find the cause of the hurt rock guy. Also, Pikaran evolved into Pikarina, and I mean, it's alright. Turns out Team Rocket is causing a ruckus and we need to stop them. Pokémon! After fighting some very interesting fusions, we come across Team Rocket and Giovanni of all people attempting to fuse 3 Pokemon together, but failing horribly. After the scientist apologizes profusely, he gives us a fossil as payment. You know we taking that dome, baby. We meet a clown telling jokes in the Pokemon Center. Yeah, here you go, buddy. That wasn't good. We also decide to fuse this abomination, and we also buy a Wonder Trade ticket. Yeah, I'm never buying another Wonder Trade ticket again. While I was playing, I found this Rocket Grunt selling a Moonstone, and I realized that I'm gonna need 2 of these to evolve my 2 mains. And he sells it for 6K. I don't have 6K. So I headed back up into Mount Moon, and I found this little cabin surrounded by these stones outside. I headed inside, and this girl told me sometimes at night, the Clefairy come out and decided to dance under the moonlight. So, went to the hotel, slept until night, came back up, and 2 Clefairy dancing around the circle. They noticed me, and then when they ran off, they dropped a Moonstone. Hell yeah, that's one. I head to Nugget Bridge, and I got approached by the big countryman himself for another battle. He's now rocking a Nidodo, a Mantata, an Abra, and a Squirtmeleon, and I am digging the fused starter designs. We are getting cooler and cooler with each evolution. Makes me wonder what the Bulbasaur fusions would have been like. After fighting the fusions of Nugget Bridge and evolving Butterbat into Cooler Butterbat 2.0, we continue to Bill's house. We get a Poliwrath, and as soon as we get it, I get the opportunity to trade it for something so much cooler. Look at this thing! It's so unimpressed! Also, Beacons evolved into Bebop, and this thing is sick! These designs don't need to go this hard, I love it! Entering Bill's house, we watch his latest experiment go awry, fusing himself with a Rhydon. Realizing he can't unfuse because of his giant Rhydon figures, he asks us for help. And in payment, he gives us a ticket on the SS Anne. But before we can head there, we have to go to the Cerulean Gym to take on Misty. We got another 2-on-2 battle. This time she's rocking a Jigglydean and an Oddju. Both fun, interesting sprites. But no match for my Grass Electric 1-2 punch in Picorina and Ivy Reno, earning us our second gym badge and another Wonder Trade ticket. Okay, I think I decided if I'm going to get them for free, I'll use them. Let's see what we get. We bypassed the rocket blockade and made our way into Route 6, where our abomination half evolves into less of a abomination. Now we're in Vermilion City. Fun side note, there's a side quest. Is a race to get some cooked Krabby Legs to this dude in the hotel in under 45 seconds, and its simplicity is so fun for me. Take notes, Nintendo! And as a reward, he'll teach us Crab Hammer to any of our Pokemon for free forever. See, that's an incredible reward. Genuinely take notes, Nintendo. The SS Anne is also just overhauled in this fan game. More rooms, more battles, more unique interactions. Like I met the scientist from Mount Moon. His name is Miguel, and I run into him a few more times in my playthrough. He's a really cool dude. He usually challenges you to a battle, and when you beat him, he'll give you a fossil from another region. Ancient fusions are going to be so fun, I can tell. Working our way through the ship, we meet our rival again, and kick his ass so hard that we kill his Manecate. And after giving a massage to the weathered, seasick old man, he teaches us how to cut ourselves. Oh, fuck! What? No, that's not what I wrote. I wrote cut stuff, not cut ourselves. Oh my god. Also, there are these little tests of endurance to get these HM-like items, like shears and a pickaxe. I hated them. I wish I never did them. It's like, no cap. That fucking sucks. We make our way to the gym, Gym 3 to be exact, and our Onix evolves into Gloonix. I love it. Surge is a 3-on-3 battle, and we're starting great, defeating his Voltbee and Piccolet pretty easily. But his Rybuzz is more of an issue, sweeping through 2 of my hard hitters, but falling in the end, earning our 3rd gym badge and receiving 2 Wonder Trade tickets this time. We get a not too Rapidash fusion, which is pretty mid, but the second was a Tangela Totodile fusion, and this dude is sick. Evolution time, baby! I had my 2 Moonstones, and I decided I wanted to evolve my 2 heavy hitters. And Ivy King and Pika Queen, welcome to the team. I also had a Sunstone and a crazy idea. Yes! Yeah! Also found these gamblers when I was walking around, and they straight up just want to play 21 with a minor. Alright, rack them up. Let's play some blackjack. I backtracked to Pewter City Museum, and I revived my Dome and Claw fossils and decided to fuse them together. This guy is adorable. But, new on the market, I wanted to test my DNA reversers, and I swapped the fusion, and it's just better. Just better. We also take a detour over to Bill's house to help him with a side project. He needs us to go into cyberspace to get a Pokemon that he created. Porygon. We get the Porygon after a nice acid trip like those kids in the 2000s got, and we have a nice reward and get to keep the Porygon. We also have a bike race and get one of the best moves ever, and trade a creepy Pixie away for a Psyduck Charmander fusion. Oh my god. We also get a Thunderstone and evolve Pika Queen into Rhyqueen, arguably the MVP of this entire run. We also found the power plant and caught some fun Pokemon. Wait a minute. Is that a fucking floating Pokeball? We make our way through Rock Tunnel, which is just the worst thing in any Pokemon game ever, don't at me. And our angry cat evolves into Girasia. And I can dig this design. Look at this, dude! After fighting a few more interesting fusions, Ivy King evolves into Venuking, and this guy is a literal beast. Oh my god. And we made our way into Lavender Town. One bad joke later, time to talk to the dead. This little girl gave me an odd keystone, and it's whispering to me. Nah, that's not ominous. Heading into the tower, we meet up with our rival again, and battle ensues. He's got new Pokemon, and being a little over-leveled, and it's kind of a perk here. His team's no problem to the tank that is Venuking. After the fight, a commotion is made, and it turns out Team Rocket is taking Mr. Fuji captive up the tower. We need to get our way up there, but we need a self-scope to proceed. So, old man, I gotta go get goggles. Cymeleon also evolves into Golmeleon, and shortly into Golazard, and I love them. We get into Celadon, we're attacked by a pile of shit in a garbage can, we end up walking an Eevee on a roof and get to keep it. And one more interesting thing, which I kind of found funny. If you go into the game corner, there is a Rocket Grunt standing where normally the Team Rocket hideout would be. If you go to the poster, it'll say nothing is there. Going back to the Grunt, he'll have him say, I told you so, nothing there. There's also a coffee shop that you can go and visit with a guy who feeds his Pokemon coffee, and it's a Starbucks. Ha. Ha, 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 And in the same shop, we can find Miguel, the Fossil Maniac. Hey buddy, how we doing? After another battle, he's also fused his two Pokemon together, the Lily Almanite fusion, which I thought was pretty cool. Great minds think alike, Mr. Miguel. And after we beat him, he gives us the Skull Fossil. Hell yeah. But unfortunately, this is going to be the last time we see Miguel on my playthrough. You were a real one, Miguel. God bless you. Heading for the gym, we have Erica, the gym leader, stopping us on our way, saying that she saw 2 Team Rocket members going into the sewer. Once learning about Mr. Fuji's kidnapping, she asked to help her clearing out the sewers. Something completely new for Infinite Fusions. Our egg that we also received from a mission hatches into Madude, and I use a Firestone and DNA Reverser on Eodo, and we got Pigeon. Yeah, you're going in the box. Butterbat 2.0 evolves into Butterbat 3.0. Now that is clean. But I also wanted to see what the reverse would be like, which is just menacing. Erica and I split up to deal more with our respective grunts, and I meet her at the end, but she's been defeated by Giovanni. Time to kick some ass. He's got an Arnix that packs a hell of a punch, a Hauntcon that looks so cool, and a Ryras that's just kind of a pushover. After his defeat, Erica thanks us and we'll get our Silph Scope. We also go into the back and find some notes and diaries talking about the triple fusion attempt. Turns out, the only compatible Pokemon that they have that could possibly work? The 3 legendary birds. Interesting. I took some time to reverse some of my fusions, like Nidosaur? That's a slick design. But Parados and Charduck? Sorry, Chief, you ain't working. I also fused my 2 hunks of metal to get a darker hunk of metal and headed back to Lavender Town. Working on my way up the tower, I found these ghastly starter fusions, and they're just so cute. Also found a Genter, a Gengar Haunter fusion, and I wanted to see what a Gengar fusion would look like eventually, and I wish I didn't, it's just bad. Almost at the top, we're stopped by an Angry Spirit right in front of the stair, which just happens to have a Gengar Marowak fusion, and that is just a great homage. That's just awesome. Also, Tannenau evolves into Tanligator. I am just praying to the gods that the Tangrowth for Alligator one looks good, because I can't do anything about it. At the top, Mr. Fuji stands alone. The Rocket Grunt's getting what they wanted. So why the fuck are you still up here? But he gives us the Pokeflute, and so we're able to move Snorlaxes. Do you know me by now? Come on, you know I had to capture one of those. Found this cursed fusion called Mr. Sir. God. And finally, Tanligator evolves into Tanligator 2.0. And goddamn, I knew it was worth it. That's how you make Fusion Art, baby. Now I made it to Fuchsia City, my favorite city in all of Gen 1. And the first thing, we're going to the Safari Zone. We're going to the zoo. But this Safari Zone has a new desert area where Pokemon from newer titles like Trapinch and Sandile can be found. I also found a Diglett Sandile fusion that I added to the dex, and an ancient temple offers roaming Golett and Cofagrigus. Come on! Traverse the temple and you'll be rewarded with a Volcarona if you capture it, which I didn't do that. I was very upset. But I did find the next best thing, a Trap Vesta. Now that's gonna be interesting. Welcome to the team, buddy. Made it to the secret house, and I also got the ability to hang 10. And I wanted to see what kind of fusions could be found in the Safari Zone, so I bought some fusion incense. These have the effect to only have fusion Pokemon appear for around 50 steps. And some of these are genuinely cool, and most are also cursed. With the new ammo I've acquired, it's time to fuse. I fused a Snorlax with a Cofagrigus and got the embodiment of greed. I pull pot of greed! I fused Scyther and Yamask together and got a golden Scarab and did a trade for a Bulbtata. Bulbs or Tata? Bulbtata. Now, I have the confidence to take on the 5th gym leader. Shit. Guess it's time to train then. I evolved my Pidgeirion into Flareon, but I didn't like the design, so I unfused them and I tried Flareon and Umbreon, and yeah, that's better. Trap Vesta also evolved into Vibravesta and fully evolved Sandlit into Croc Trio. This dude is so hilariously cool. I love him. My Golden Beetle eventually evolves into the co-father that you never knew. I realized that we don't have the 4th badge. Oh shit. We circle back to Celadon and make our way to Erica. My dude fully evolves into Malum, but I genuinely didn't like that design. I didn't like the arm, so I reversed it, and god damn, he's swole. While making our way through the gym, co-father evolves into Elite 4 candidate Coffazor. Woo! For this fight, I wanted to get Pokemon. I kind of wanted to level up a little bit since my main team was way over leveled and would have swept Erica by this point. So I wanted to challenge myself a little bit. Erica's a 3-on-3 battle, and she's got an Execudo, a Tangape, and a Vilepel. All incredible fusions. None of them a match for Coffazor. Sounds like an allergy medication. Sinus is getting you down, try Coffazor. We get our 4th badge and 2 more Wonder Trade tickets. Time to see what we get. We get a Skiploom Meryl fusion and a Voltorb Haunedge fusion. These 2 have been the best fusions so far. We are now in Saffron City and making our way to Silphco to take down Team Rocket. Vibra Vesta evolves into Fly Vesta, and after freeing all the hostages, we receive a Lapras as a gift from a scientist. Heading into the president's office, somehow, with terrorists taking the building, and every floor being blocked off by a keycard, Big Country strolling in, Big Dick swinging for a rival battle. There's no hiding from the country. He's rocking some real good Pokemon now. His Nijodiat fully evolves, and he's found a Tauros that he's going to be fusing at some point, and his Gyarados and Electabuzz have fused. After his defeat, however, we'll overhear a conversation between the president and Giovanni. He's got the Master Balls he's needed to move forward with his plan, and apparently we're not going to stop him. Well, we won't, but our Pokemon will. We get into a double battle with our rival against Giovanni. This is kind of fun, and he's rocking some new Pokemon this time around as well. His Hauntcon and Ryras have both evolved, and now he's got a Primarino and a Sand Queen. Even with the updated team, no match for the combined strength of these 2 protagonists. Team Rocket retreats for the time being, and the president thanks us by giving us a Gen 2 starter. For my Bulbasaur haters out there, I'll take Cyndaquil to ease some of the tensions, okay? Even though Totodile is my favorite Gen 2 starter. Am I gonna get hate for that too? We also snagged the last Master Ball made before the machine broke. 1 guaranteed catch? Thank you very much. But I had a fun idea with our 2 new candidates, and oh my god, it was worth it! Look at him! Look at him! Next, I moved on to see the fighting dojo to see if I can get my Hitmon, and I ran into the most intimidating Mon so far in my journey. Do you see this Machoke Magnemite fusion? Huh? During the battles for the Mon, I actually got Lapcool to evolve into Laplava, and I'm just excited to see when this thing fully evolves. We get to the leader of the dojo, who's got fusions of all the Hitmons with each other, but the names don't change, which kind of fun. Hint of mystery. We win our bout, and we'll take Hitmontop, thank you very much. Next on is the 6th gym. What about the 5th gym? Did someone say something? Someone in my home? We head to the gym, evolving our Magniclang in the process, and time to take on Sabrina, I guess. Sabrina is a 4-on-4 battle, starting with a Hitmon, an Ezreon, an Alabro, and then a Genkazam as our finisher. Usually these battles are an easy sweep, but this one was a little bit more difficult. I wonder why! But it was all worth it because our Laplava has fully evolved into Laplosion, and it is probably my favorite design so far. Look at it. It's got a volcano on its back, motherfucker. We also get 2 Wonder Trade tickets for our Stunfisk Turtwig fusion, just awful, and a Sandshrew Quilava fusion, which that one has potential. At this point, I realized I didn't have my 5th badge, so I needed to head back to Fuchsia to rematch Koga. It's a 4-on-4 matchup for this battle. He's got a Venomer, Magnifing, Beether, and a very tanky Chinook. But we surpassed the obstacle and acquired our 5th badge. We got the 6th. Yay! We got a Venonat Venomoth fusion, which I didn't want, so I used it as the 2nd trade for... What? I also got a Miststone, which is a unique item. Evolve any Pokemon to their next stage, regardless of their level, regardless of whatever is needed. They'll just evolve. And I didn't want to wait for my Magniclang to evolve because I didn't know how to evolve it into Magnezone. So I used South of Fuchsia. I take part in a surfing contest that takes a few tries, but now I got a surfer. Oh my god, it's one of these, god damn it! We now arrive on Cinnabar Island. The gym is locked, so we decide to explore the mansion. Sandlava also falls into Sandlotion, and our Monferno Charmeleon fusion evolves, hopefully. Hopefully the Infernape one is better. God, man, that sucks. We come across some Rocket Grunts deciding to steal a boat that we're going to take them to the Sevi Islands. And the incorporation of the Sevi Islands in the story, so cool. I love that touch. Working our way, Monfernizard evolved into Infernizard, and we make it to Kindle Road. A wild overworld Flygon was just around, so I thought, what the hell, might as well catch it. Accidentally found the battle tower, so I had to backtrack a little bit to get to Mount Ember. A cutscene will play showing you the capture and the fusing of the 3 legendary birds by Giovanni. And man, if you thought you were ready, I can tell you, you're not. Giovanni gives the typical bad guy speech and says that you can't beat him and yada yada, we'll see about... Oh! So this is Zapmokuno. And this isn't even technically the first time we've seen this creature, and it is technically canon in a manga. In the Pokemon manga, Team Rocket did the exact same thing, fusing the 3 Pokemon together and getting a Mega Pokemon. The ultimate Pokemon. Zapmokuno is the only Pokemon Giovanni will have, each head acting as its own health bar, and each head gets to attack as well. This is a straight up Dark Souls fight. I had to make sure I sacked the right Pokemon on to get each head taken down. I had to make sure, this one actually made me use strategy, which I don't like. I like to be mindless, damn it. After the battle, the birds will defuse and go off to their respective areas. Team Rocket is finished, and Giovanni retreats for the time being. Moltres returns and challenges us to capture it. No problem, it took 50 Pokeballs. And then after that, we fly back to Cinnabar. There's an Absol looking over the ocean just so menacingly, and to avert disaster, I did the due diligence and I captured it. You're welcome. We get back to the mansion and I find Blaine staring at a corner. I asked him if he could stop staring at the corner for 5 minutes to battle me, which he promptly returns. Also, I don't have it recorded. My Fly Vesta evolves into Flyrona. That hard work, I told you, pays off. Now this is my favorite sprite so far. Look at him! He's adorable! The 7th gym badge is different than before, having questions tying to fusions to get you to the next point. A nice touch. I didn't get these all right. Blaine is a 4v4. He's got Gludash, Magdon, Nine, and Chardactyl, but all are no match for my Eurasian, Amatops, Golazard, and Magnelar. We earned the 7th gym badge and 3 Wonder Trade tickets. And these ones kind of sucked, I'm not going to lie. We got an Igleish, a Magmia, and a Bonbach. We surf back to Pallet Town and head into Viridian City to go and get my final gym badge, damn it. Time to defeat Giovanni once and for all. Giovanni is a 5-on-5 battle sporting Rhyperius that is a tank. Next hey, it's my dude! He's also sporting a Glycitar, a Rylax, and an Electrio. Huh. This was a hard-fought battle, but in the end, Veneking came in clutch, earning us the final gym badge. At this point, I was ready for the Elite Four, but I wanted to fuse my Moltres with something and bring him with. And what do you know? There's a perfectly good Flygon here, ready to be fused. Welcome to the team, Molgon. Before we head to Victory Road, our rival, the biggest of countries, has come to lose yet again. But this time I don't want to showcase his team since it's essentially the same for his champion battle, except for his final evolved starter Pokemon. I found a trainer that has a Venusaurus on the way, and God, what a callback to the Pokemon anime, dude. Nostalgia incarnate. After putting rocks in holes and fighting some pretty sick fusions, we make it to the Indigo Plateau. Our final team going into this will be Molgon, Veneking, Rhyqueen, Coffazor, Magnelar, and Flyrona. Time for the end. First up is Lorelei. She's got a Magong, Tentisler, Mombro, Weerass, and Jingrowth. And if you can't tell, she sweeps half of my team right off the bat. Thank God I'm not Nuzlocking this shit. Next up, Bruno. He's got a Mavire, Marochan, Cycross, Steel Champ, and Magnanix. God, these are difficult to pronounce. A little more reasonable than Lorelei, but still challenging nonetheless. Time for Agatha. She's got a Mismabat, Gangdoon, Umpter, Snorgar, and Wobgar. These aren't heavy hitters, but they are tanky. On to the final member, Lance. Being the previous champion, his team is rough. We got a Dragados, Toganite, Trandactyl, Poridra, and Typhnair. But, just like the rest, after we're done defeating the final Elite Four member, we aren't done. We have one more challenge, our rival, for the whole thing. Let's do this. Starting off with Old Reliable comes Nidogeot against Molgon. The Dragon Pulse damage is way more than the Wing Attack, but after another Dragon Pulse misses, I need to swap. So Rhyqueen to the save with some Sparks. Next up, Blastozyme, and fuck! This thing is awesome. God damn it. After depleting my Sparks, Rhyqueen falls, only fair for starter v starter. Veneking, proving he's the superior, ends its rival with an Earth Power. Next is Ripe Mortar, but after a Thrash confuses, Veneking is down. Molgon is back in the fight to take down this beast, making way for Tautor. Tautor takes Molgon down, making way for Flyrona to come make the save. Next is Starkazam, who just one-shots Flyrona pretty easily. We're down to the wire here. Magnelar and Coffazor are a little underlevel for the fight, but Magnelar was ready and able to take this one out. His last Pokemon, Electos 2.0. It's all down to this. Magnelar is taken out, and it's up to Coffazor. I have 2 revives left, and I needed to use them. So I sacked Coffazor to heal up my heavy hitters, and now we have a shot. Veneking was able to bring Electados down to the red, and Rhyqueen takes the final shot. And we've done it. We're the new Pokemon League champion. Oak comes and congratulates and commemorates us in the Hall of Fame, and we beat the game. Look at that lineup. Look at that squad. What a crew, baby. And what a game. Truly taking the Pokemon IP into creative new directions. Honestly, the new areas, replay potential, over 176,000 possibilities makes Infinite Fusion a must-play if you're a fan of the cities of any age. And we're just getting started. I got plenty more fan games to cover in the future that have just created new and innovative ways way beyond any Pokemon game could imagine. Hold on a second. I'm getting a phone call from Professor Oak. Excuse me for a second. Yeah? Wait, we have another region next door?